This is why old men smell bad. Don't miss this point. 5 bathroom habits make older men smell bad. It is a topic seldom approached with openness or directness, yet it affects many in their later years. The development of a distinct, often strong and unpleasant body odor in some older men, even those who diligently maintain their personal hygiene. This isn't merely a superficial concern. It touches upon fundamental aspects of personal dignity, self-assurance, and the way one is perceived by and interacts with the world. As a man progresses beyond the age of 70, his body undergoes a series of subtle yet profound transformations that can significantly alter how he smells. The skin, for instance, may retain odors for longer periods, while the metabolic rate slows, impacting how the body processes and expels waste products. Daily routines that once seemed entirely adequate might no longer be sufficient, inadvertently contributing to an unwanted scent. This discussion is crafted with genuine care and understanding, intended for older men who aspire to feel consistently fresher, cleaner, and more empowered in their personal presentation. We will delve into 5 specific bathroom habits that often serve as the hidden, underlying causes of this unwelcome odor. Our intention is not to assign blame or induce embarrassment, but rather to illuminate areas where minor adjustments can yield substantial improvements in one's overall quality of life. Whether living independently, with a partner, or in a communal setting, every individual deserves the comfort and confidence that comes from feeling truly clean and in control of their bodily presence. We invite you to consider these insights carefully, particularly the final point, which might introduce a perspective you haven't yet considered, potentially revolutionizing your daily self-care regimen. A primary and remarkably prevalent contributor to persistent body odor in older men is an aspect of personal care so fundamental it often escapes scrutiny: the technique employed for wiping after using the toilet. While undeniably a private matter, often deemed too intimate for public discourse, its execution holds profound implications for one's scent, especially as the body ages and experiences various changes. After reaching the 7th decade of life, the natural flexibility and ease of movement in joints often diminish, making the thorough and complete cleaning of the perineal area more challenging than one might openly acknowledge. Conditions such as arthritis, reduced range of motion, or general stiffness can impede a man's ability to reach adequately, leading to the unwitting omission of tiny, yet significant, traces of fecal matter. One might assume that a cursory wipe suffices, but experience and biological reality often demonstrate otherwise. Even the minutest residue left behind creates a fertile ground for bacterial proliferation. It doesn't take long for these bacteria to break down organic matter, producing volatile compounds that manifest as an unpleasant odor. This scent then impregnates clothing, bedding, and can significantly influence the perception others form of an individual. Further compounding this issue is the common reliance solely on dry toilet paper. Dry paper, particularly when dealing with looser or less formed stools, a more common occurrence in older age due to dietary shifts, medication side effects, or changes in gut motility, tends to smear rather than effectively clean. This smearing action leaves a thin but pervasive layer of residue that becomes deeply embedded in the skin's delicate folds and creases around the anus. For men who spend considerable portions of their day seated, whether due to lifestyle, work, or reduced mobility, this residue is pressed against the skin, exacerbating its absorption and the localized bacterial activity. The situation is further worsened by the wearing of absorbent undergarments or tight-fitting briefs, which trap heat and moisture, creating an even more conducive environment for bacterial growth and odor production. It is crucial to understand that this is not indicative of a lack of cleanliness or personal neglect. Rather, it often stems from an unawareness that one's long-standing method of hygiene has simply become insufficient for the body's current state. Moreover, a lesser-known but critical factor is the age-related decline in olfactory sensitivity. As men age, their sense of smell can gradually diminish, meaning they might be entirely oblivious to an odor that is distinctly detectable to others. This creates a deeply isolating paradox. While an individual genuinely believes they are maintaining proper hygiene, those around them may experience discomfort, subtly keeping their distance, or more painfully, discussing the issue behind their back. This scenario is profoundly unfair and strips an individual of their agency and dignity. The solution, fortunately, is both straightforward and remarkably effective. Integrating moist wipes into the post-toilet routine offers a superior cleaning experience, ensuring more thorough removal of residue and significantly reducing odor. Alternatively, the installation of a bidet attachment provides an even more comprehensive and hygienic clean, using water to gently yet effectively wash the area. For those grappling with mobility limitations, a range of long-handled personal hygiene tools has been specifically designed to assist older adults in reaching and cleaning themselves without strain or discomfort. Embracing these tools is not a sign of weakness. It is a proactive demonstration of valuing one's comfort, hygiene, and overall well-being. Ultimately, this adjustment in habit extends far beyond mere odor elimination. It is a powerful reaffirmation of personal dignity. The profound sense of cleanliness instills a renewed confidence, inspiring individuals to engage more actively in social interactions, to step out with ease, and to embrace life with a brighter outlook. This newfound confidence is not an internal phenomenon alone. It radiates outwards, subtly influencing how others perceive and interact with you. To walk into a room feeling fresh and assured, knowing you have meticulously cared for yourself, garners a level of respect and positive attention that is invaluable. At this particular stage of life, such profound peace of mind is truly priceless. Beyond the immediate aftermath of bathroom visits, another often underestimated habit contributing to personal scent in older men is the frequency, or rather infrequency, of underwear changes. It might seem like a trivial detail, but the profound difference between a perpetually fresh scent and a persistent stale odor can fundamentally hinge upon the state of one's undergarments and their duration of wear. With advancing age, the body's thermoregulatory mechanisms undergo changes. The efficiency with which the body cools itself diminishes, leading to altered patterns of perspiration. Skin, becoming thinner and sometimes more fragile, coupled with potentially reduced circulation in certain areas, means that moisture can persist on the skin for longer periods. When this physiological reality is combined with the habit of wearing the same pair of underwear for 2 or even 3 consecutive days, it establishes an almost perfect breeding ground for odor. This resulting scent not only clings tenaciously to the body, but can subtly pervade every space an individual inhabits. The most distressing aspect of this situation is often the complete unawareness on the part of the older man himself. This lack of awareness frequently stems from shifts in lifestyle, particularly after retirement or when living independently. The compelling urgency to adhere to a rigid laundry schedule, perhaps driven by professional demands or social obligations, often dissipates. A common internal justification might be, "It's not truly dirty, I've spent the day at home," or "I haven't engaged in any strenuous activity to warrant sweating." However, body odor isn't solely a product of vigorous exertion. It accumulates gradually from the body's natural sebaceous oils, the continuous shedding of dead skin cells, and indeed from minor instances of urine leakage, which statistically become more common with advancing age and as a side effect of various medications. Many men experience these subtle dribbles without ever fully registering their occurrence. While these small amounts might feel negligible, they are readily absorbed by the fabric of underwear, creating a localized, warm, moist environment, an ideal habitat for bacteria to flourish. It is the metabolic activity of these bacteria, rather than the moisture itself, that is primarily responsible for the generation of malodorous compounds. The longer these saturated or soiled fabrics remain in direct contact with the skin, the more effectively they trap and transfer these odors back to the body throughout the day, establishing a cyclical problem. Furthermore, the quality and condition of undergarments play a critical role. Not all underwear is designed or constructed equally. Older, worn out, and stretched briefs, often made from thicker, less breathable synthetic fabrics, are particularly problematic. They actively impede airflow, trapping heat and moisture against the skin, thereby intensifying the entire odor-producing process. If one has not updated their underwear collection in several years, it is highly probable they are wearing materials that, far from offering any benefit, are actively contributing to discomfort and odor issues. The straightforward solution is to adopt a regimen of daily underwear changes without exception, regardless of whether one plans to leave the house. Moreover, a significant upgrade involves transitioning to modern moisture-wicking and breathable fabrics, specifically engineered for optimal comfort and hygiene. The immediate impact of such a change is often profoundly surprising, leading to a palpable sense of freshness. Beyond personal comfort, this habit positively influences the freshness of outer clothing, prevents the transference of musty odors to furniture, and crucially, bolsters self-confidence. There is an intrinsic, deep-seated awareness within us when we feel genuinely clean. This principle extends beyond mere presentability for others. It is an act of self-respect, a commitment to maintaining one's body in a state that fosters personal pride. The simple yet powerful act of donning a fresh pair of underwear each morning delivers a quiet but resolute declaration. I still value myself. I still matter. Moving beyond personal garments, another silent yet potent contributor to lingering body odor in older men is often external to the body itself: the quality of the air within their immediate environment, specifically the stale, damp atmosphere that frequently pervades bathrooms. When bathroom ventilation is compromised or entirely absent, it is easy to dismiss the notion that such an environment could affect personal scent. However, it profoundly can, and often in surprisingly insidious ways. Bathrooms are inherently designed to manage significant levels of moisture, but their efficacy in doing so is entirely contingent upon proper ventilation. Without adequate circulation of fresh air, every steamy shower, every toilet flush, and every damp towel left to hang in isolation contributes to an accumulating humidity problem. This excess moisture does not simply remain suspended in the air. It slowly but surely permeates all absorbent surfaces within the room: bath mats, towels, shower curtains, and even clothing temporarily left on hooks. Over time, this constant dampness fosters the proliferation of mildew and bacteria, both of which emit characteristic musty, sour smells that readily transfer and cling to skin and clothing. Older men, especially those living alone or those who have naturally become desensitized to the ambient smells of their own homes, may not readily detect these odors. Yet, visitors, professional caregivers, and even family members on occasional visits will invariably pick up on the distinctive scent that subtly permeates one's attire. This persistent odor, unfortunately, rarely serves to enhance one's social standing or reputation. Consider, too, the routine of drying off after a shower. Many unknowingly use a towel that has been hanging in a perpetually damp bathroom for days, perhaps even a week. Even if one emerges from the shower impeccably clean, that very towel, saturated with ambient moisture and potentially colonized by mildew, effectively transfers a fresh layer of musty odor and microscopic organisms directly back onto the skin. The more frustrating aspect is that once this type of odor has deeply clung to the body and clothing, no amount of deodorant or even expensive cologne can truly mask it. At best, it creates a clashing, layered scent that can be even more off-putting. However, the issue transcends towels and bath mats. The pervasive dampness of the air itself is a significant factor. If the bathroom air is consistently thick with moisture, the skin, even after a thorough bath, struggles to dry completely and efficiently. This means that areas where skin naturally folds, such as underarms, the groin area, and beneath the belly, remain slightly damp for extended periods. These perpetually moist conditions become ideal breeding grounds for the bacteria responsible for generating unpleasant body odors. The corrective measures for this issue are fortunately quite practical. Establishing proper ventilation as an unnegotiable element of one's bathroom routine is paramount. If an exhaust fan is present, it should be activated every single time a shower or bath is taken, and crucially left running for a minimum of 15 to 20 minutes subsequent to the activity to ensure thorough moisture extraction. In the absence of an exhaust fan, the simple act of cracking a window, even partially during and after bathing, can significantly improve airflow. Similarly, leaving the bathroom door ajar once finished allows for better air circulation throughout the home. Towels must be hung in a manner that permits complete drying, rather than being bunched on a hook or wedged into a tight space, which only traps moisture. Regularly replacing bath mats, which are highly absorbent and prone to harboring odors, is also a wise practice. These seemingly minor adjustments do far more than merely refresh the bathroom. They contribute directly to one's personal freshness. One will notice towels feeling genuinely cleaner, clothes carrying less of that characteristic musty smell, and even the skin feeling remarkably better and drier after a shower. It is a straightforward yet impactful modification to the daily routine that collectively results in a substantial enhancement in how one presents oneself to the world, and equally important, how one feels within their personal living space. Moving further into the realm of personal care, we address the habit of either entirely omitting deodorant or selecting a product ill-suited to current physiological needs. Some older men, perhaps after retiring from a structured work environment, develop a misconception that certain grooming routines are no longer essential. Sadly, deodorant often becomes one of the first casualties of this altered mindset. The rationale might be, I'm not as active as I once was, so I don't sweat much. Or, I primarily stay at home, so who would notice? However, this line of reasoning overlooks a fundamental biological reality. Even if profuse sweating is no longer a daily occurrence, others around you are highly likely to detect a subtle, persistent body odor that slowly but steadily accumulates, particularly in warm, enclosed areas like the armpits. The absence of an appropriate deodorant or antiperspirant merely accelerates this natural process. What many individuals fail to realize is that as the body ages, the skin itself undergoes structural and functional changes. The natural production of skin oils, sebum, shifts, and crucially the microbial flora, the bacteria that naturally reside on the skin, especially in damp, warm regions like the armpits, begin to interact differently with these altered oils. This complex biochemical interaction produces distinct volatile compounds that, when left unmanaged, become increasingly noticeable as a characteristic body odor. It is vital to underscore that this is not fundamentally an issue of poor overall hygiene. One can meticulously shower daily and still contend with noticeable body odor if the crucial protective step of applying the correct type of deodorant or antiperspirant is neglected afterward. The problem becomes exacerbated when men either skip this product altogether or continue to use a formulation that no longer adequately addresses their body's evolving needs. A common scenario involves older men faithfully sticking with the same brand they relied upon in their 30s or 40s, operating under the assumption that it always worked for me. However, our bodies are dynamic, constantly changing entities, and what effectively masked odor decades prior may now offer minimal or no protection. Some men, driven by a desire for a healthier or more natural approach, opt for aluminum-free or fragrance-free deodorants. While these choices are perfectly valid for some, they may not possess the robust staying power or odor-neutralizing capabilities required for aging skin and altered bacterial profiles. Another prevalent mistake is the blurring of lines between deodorant and antiperspirant. A deodorant's primary function is to mask existing odors and neutralize odor-causing bacteria. An antiperspirant conversely works by temporarily blocking sweat glands to reduce perspiration itself. Many products combine both functions, offering comprehensive protection, but not all do. Some men unknowingly use a product that only provides half the necessary protection, then wonder why a lingering smell resurfaces just a few hours after application. Consider the example of Harold, a 78-year-old man who, in his quest for a low-maintenance lifestyle, would shower each morning but entirely forgo deodorant, believing his cleanliness was sufficient. It was his daughter, with gentle candor, who brought to his attention that despite his spotless home, a distinct off smell was always present during her visits. It wasn't a question of his cleanliness, it was the silent, unaddressed biological process that the absence of deodorant allowed to flourish. Once Harold embraced a proper antiperspirant deodorant combination tailored to his current needs, the transformation was immediate and profound. His clothing retained its freshness for longer, his personal confidence visibly soared, and those subtle, awkward instances of people subtly retreating a step were entirely eradicated. This seemingly small adjustment revolutionized how others perceived him, and perhaps more significantly, how he perceived himself. It is never too late to prioritize how one presents oneself to the world, and a well-chosen deodorant or antiperspirant represents one of the simplest yet most effective means of achieving this. Finally, we arrive at a significant error in judgment that many older men commit regarding bathroom habits: the reliance on air fresheners as a primary strategy to combat unpleasant smells, rather than addressing the root cause of those odors. A quick spray here and there might provide a fleeting illusion of freshness, but in reality it merely temporarily overlays the existing odor. More often than not, this admixture of artificial fragrance with the underlying unpleasant smell creates a compound odor that is even more discernible and decidedly less appealing. Over extended periods, this practice contributes significantly to the very old man smell that is commonly discussed. And importantly, it clings insidiously to clothing, towels, and even one's skin, often without the individual's conscious awareness. Many seniors inadvertently fall into the routine of routinely spraying their bathroom after each visit, genuinely believing they are acting considerately or maintaining tidiness. However, if the toilet bowl remains imperfectly cleaned, if the bathroom ventilation is substandard, or if damp towels are still hanging about, absorbing moisture and fostering bacterial growth, then the air freshener is not resolving any fundamental problem. It is merely layering perfume on top of mildew, urine residue, and lingering particulate matter. The unfortunate truth is that most people, especially those with an intact sense of smell, can easily discern this artificial masking. Take, for instance, the case of George, a spry 78-year-old gentleman known for his sharp intellect and impeccable attire during weekly card games. Yet, he consistently carried a pervasive scent of lemon spray. Initially, one might attribute this to an admirable dedication to cleanliness. However, upon entering his home, the scent immediately shifted, becoming a perplexing blend of citrus mingled with the unmistakable odor of dampness, akin to wet socks. The underlying issues were multifaceted: an unnoticed leaky toilet seal, a window rarely opened for fresh air, and a habitual reliance on air freshener every few hours. George himself remained largely oblivious until his daughter, with utmost tact and politeness, pointed out that the house didn't smell genuinely fresh. Rather, it smelled like it was desperately attempting to conceal something. This illustrates a crucial point. Air fresheners are designed to be the elegant embellishment, the cherry on top of an already pristine bathroom, not the foundation of the entire dessert. If the underlying cleanliness is compromised, no quantity of artificial fragrance can effectively rectify the situation. For men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, whose olfactory acuity may naturally decline with age, the risk of misjudging ambient smells is even greater. One might genuinely perceive the environment as clean and fresh, while visitors form an entirely different and often less favorable impression. The practical steps to counteract this common pitfall are foundational to true cleanliness. First and foremost, a direct attack on moisture is essential. Bathrooms that consistently retain dampness create ideal conditions for the proliferation of mold and mildew, both of which possess distinct, unpleasant odors that readily adhere to fabrics and skin. Therefore, consistently utilizing an exhaust fan or routinely cracking a window is paramount. Furthermore, ensuring that all towels are allowed to dry completely between uses prevents them from becoming reservoirs of mustiness. Secondly, a thorough and meticulous cleaning of the toilet is indispensable. This extends beyond merely swishing a brush in the bowl. It necessitates scrubbing diligently under the rim, around the entire base, and meticulously cleaning the seat hinges, areas where urine and bacteria often accumulate unseen. Thirdly, regular and comprehensive cleaning of all surfaces within the bathroom is crucial. This includes floors, light switches, cabinet handles, and any other frequently touched areas, all of which collect dirt, skin cells, and odors over time. Only after the bathroom has been genuinely and comprehensively cleaned, addressing all sources of potential odor, should one even consider introducing a light scent. And even then, the preference should lean towards subtle options, such as natural essential oil diffusers or baking soda-based fresheners. These choices do not overwhelm the senses and are far less likely to create that artificial, chemical-laden smell that so often clashes with and ultimately amplifies other odors. Ultimately, the overarching objective is not to emanate the scent of a flower garden, but rather to project an aura of authentic cleanliness, freshness, and naturalness. A bathroom that smells good because it is clean will invariably create a far more positive and lasting impression than one that merely attempts to camouflage underlying issues with a barrage of artificial fragrance. This deep-seated, genuine cleanliness conveys a powerful and unequivocal message: a profound respect for oneself and for all those who share one's living space. If you have dedicated your time to exploring these insights, we extend our sincere gratitude, not just for your viewership, but for demonstrating a profound self-care ethic and confronting a topic that many prefer to sidestep. Discussions surrounding personal odor can feel inherently uncomfortable, even shame-inducing. However, the comprehensive exploration we have undertaken today is not about shame. It is fundamentally about reasserting personal control and reclaiming dignity. Your unique scent is an integral component of how the world experiences you, and perhaps even more significantly, how you experience and perceive yourself. The 5 habits we have meticulously examined might appear individually minor, but their collective impact on your sense of well-being, the quality of your social interactions, and the confidence with which you navigate life is undeniably profound. This discourse transcends mere soap or deodorant. It is a powerful affirmation of dignity. It is about actively resisting the notion that age should ever diminish the pride and self-respect cultivated over a lifetime. And here lies the truly encouraging news. It is unequivocally never too late to initiate positive change. There is no requirement to undertake a wholesale overhaul of your entire routine overnight. Simply commence with one habit, one modest yet impactful shift. Perhaps it involves committing to fresh underwear each morning, or finally discarding that old, musty towel. Perhaps it means becoming more acutely aware of the ambient scent of your bathroom when no one else is present. Whatever initial action you choose, that single step sends a potent message to both the external world and your inner self. I still care. I still matter. Because unequivocally, you do. Should this exploration have offered you a fresh perspective or valuable guidance, we encourage you to consider subscribing and activating notifications to ensure you don't miss future content designed to support and empower you. Furthermore, if you are aware of someone who might quietly be grappling with these very issues, we kindly request you to share this video with empathy and discretion. Sometimes the gentlest nudge can unlock the most significant doors to positive transformation. Until our next communication, commit to nurturing your personal space, honoring your body, and uplifting your spirit. You have earned nothing less and indeed much more.